I know what you're thinking. Is this a February video before February? And I'm gonna say yes. Yes, it is. Anyways, getting right into the video, this whole February setup uses one light pink Crayola, one dark pink Crayola, and a Sharpie pen. The other stuff I don't even need. I'm just gonna use these 3 things for the whole setup. Now, my theme for this month is just strawberries and letters. I work at a flower shop part-time, so I didn't want to do anything with flowers or roses because I would have screamed. Now, I'm not using a ruler this time. The whole vibe is kind of like sketching in the corners of your notebook type of vibe. So the headers are literally just me outlining the letters like you do in like your middle school notebook, because I didn't have to worry about all of the things I now find myself worrying about. So I'm kind of just trying to give those reminiscing vibes to myself for the stressful part of the month. And I've just kind of traced over the lines for the strawberries twice to make it look more like a sketch. And then I'm filling in the strawberries with 2 different colored pinks, slightly out of alignment to fit in with this vibe. And it's just an all fun, no stress. I'm not worrying about the lines being perfect and super straight with a ruler. And like, don't get me wrong, I loved the olive branch theme I did for January, and it was exactly what I needed, but I'm also kind of tired of all the straightness. So this time we're kind of pivoting into a different direction. And I also couldn't spend forever on February. I needed to get this month banged out, and I didn't want to overthink it too much. And I had to get it done without stressing too hard so I could actually start planning days and things like that, because I have a busy month ahead of me. This spread actually came together really quickly. This whole setup did. Although I did spend quite a bit of time sketching out and planning it so that this part, the execution, was really fast. So it does kind of balance out in the end. Next is my exercise spread. I've just got 4 weeks here because February is really only 4 weeks long. The first few days of February I have actually tracked in January because I like keeping my weeks together. So the first few days of February were in with my January spreads. First couple days of March are going to be in with my February spreads as well, because the week ends on March 2nd. And for the headers on this page, I'm just keeping the same style. I kind of wish I had practiced it more because I haven't done this style in forever, but it also kind of adds to like the quirkiness and imperfect sketchy style of it. So I'm not mad about it, which is the main thing here. That's the important bit. I also have a section at the bottom of my exercise page for my stats, which I thought was just kind of a goofy way to think about it, like trying to gamify life and all of that. I don't know whether I'm going to track anything serious here, just because it is going to be a crazy month for me, so I don't know how consistent I'll be able to be. But I might do something silly like record gym day or longest on the treadmill or something like inconsequential to put here just for funsies. This spread also has my funds tracker, which I have a box at the top for income, a box underneath for my bills, which has gotten bigger because I'm an adult and the only kind of surprises that you get are more bills. And then I have a box on the bottom for my fun expenses, so I can try not to overspend, which is a challenge. Like, I want to save money, but I also want to be able to go to dinner with my friends, you know? If you know, you know. For my weeklies, I'm actually trying out a Dutch door spread. I already cut out the pages because I'm not gonna lie, trying to do that on camera was making me kind of anxious. So I just didn't do that. I'm using my calendar stamps here to put that on every week. And I tried to see if Amazon still sold these, but they do not. However, there are a lot of options for calendar stamps if you want to get something like that and you put a lot of mini calendars into your setups, because it saves so much time and saves you from so many hand cramps as well. So I highly recommend. Now for the left side of the page, which you will see on every weekly because of the Dutch door, I'm going to keep track of the hours I spend at the flower shop. And I'm going to be working a lot over the next few weeks, so I wanted to have kind of a separate place to keep that, so that at the end of the month I can just tally it up really fast, and I don't have to go hunting through all my weekly spreads for it. And speaking of florists and Valentine's Day, please be kind to your florist this Valentine's Day. If you think it's a stressful day for you, it is about 10 times that for your poor florists. They are working 12-hour days for the week of Valentine's, not just the day of, to try and keep up with everything. And the drivers work as hard as they can to get things where they need to be for an unreasonable amount of the day. And they really pull through when we need them to. And please use a local florist. Wire services like 1-800-Flowers, From You Flowers, all of those stuff, they are everywhere, and they can afford to be everywhere because they pay a fortune for advertising to throw all of this stuff in your face. But what they do is they take like 25% of the money you hand that wire service just for touching your order before they send it off to a local florist to fulfill it for them. And I guarantee you, florists are going to prioritize the orders they get through their websites and over their phones to give them the best flowers and the freshest flowers, because those are their personal customers. So order from a florist that has a street address and whose phone number does not start with 1-800, all right? Those are my insider florist trading tips. So be informed, guys. Anyways, getting back to the setups, for these weeklies, I'm making a little strawberry where the number date is going to go, and then a box for the day of the week, and then 2 boxes underneath it. One is going to be where I'm going to track my mood, and underneath that is my checklist for the day. I also have a space for notes underneath the mini calendar, and then I'm just making more boxes and more lines. This was the most tedious part of the whole thing. The strawberries were just kind of rounded, lumpy triangles, and I did the lines twice on those just to keep up with like the sketchy feel of it. I did mess up on some of the lines, but I'll go back and glue paper over it or use a marker on it or something to cover it up. So it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm not mad about it. It's an easy fix. This last bit of the page that you can see in all the weeklies is going to be a standing to-do list, where I'm going to keep a list of projects that I want to try and work on when I have the time. This month is going to be, again, really crazy, and I might not actually have any extra time to work on anything, but when I do, and when I'm like, I'm so tired I can't think, but I'm bored and I don't have anything to do right now, I can just look at this list and pick something off of it and hopefully be semi-productive. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Last February, I just kind of died and I had no energy to do anything. So we'll see if this helps. It may or may not. So yeah. And then that's the whole setup. I've added some marker to just highlight the edge of the Dutch door and added the numbers and days after I finished filming this because I kind of forgot after I was done doing like the hard part. I'm actually pretty happy with this setup, which is kind of atypical for me. I normally have a period of, oh, this is complete shit, before I come back and say, okay, it's not that bad, like I can live with it, I can use it, it's fine. So having the immediate, okay, this is kind of rad, was a very pleasant serotonin rush for me. It was a very nice surprise. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments and what you're planning on doing for Valentine's Day. I would love to know what normal people do when they don't have to be at a flower shop all the time. And I hope you guys have a great February and a great Valentine's Day, and that you stay creative. All right, bye guys.